procedure will be to introduce the case record as the Codes Administration has it, and we'll do that on the wall here by means of a PowerPoint presentation. We'll present any photographs, maps, and sketches dealing with today's cases, as well as any letters we've received in support or opposition to a case. We'll also present to the board any letters that we've received from other Metro agencies. At the conclusion of my presentation, the applicants will come to the table first, along with any people in support. And then if there's opposition, the board will hear from the opposition after the applicant speaks. After the opposition's presented their testimony, the applicant will have a rebuttal period. The board in their rules provides cases without opposition. The applicants have 10 minutes to present their case. In cases with opposition, the board provides 15 minutes for each side of a case. So if you have multiple speakers, that's 15 minutes in total, not per person. So divide your time accordingly when you come up. All section numbers I refer to today come directly from the Metropolitan Code of Law in Title 17, which is the zoning ordinance. The zoning ordinance was adopted by the Metro Council and became effective January 1st, 1998. And I'll dispense from reading individual sections unless the applicant or opposition requests that I read them. A copy I'll make a part of the record of the zoning code, a copy of which is at my desk behind me. The zoning code requires that these proceedings be taped. Therefore, it's imperative anyone wishing to address this board to please come forward and speak into the microphone and identify yourself and make your presentation. I have 4 seats down here for you, should you need it. It should be noted that it's found anyone's presented false or misleading testimony to this board that may have affected the board's decision. Any approval may be revoked at a later date by means of a show cause hearing. The board will go through all cases set for the public hearing today, and after each case, the board will then discuss and vote on that case before you. The board's vested with the power to act under Section 1740-180 of the Metro Code of Law. The code requires that 4 members of our 7-member board be present to constitute a quorum. The code also requires that you have 4 affirmative votes, and currently I have 5 members present, so you would need 4 of the 5 members to vote for your case for it to be approved. If in the event we do not get 4 affirmative votes, your case will stay on our agenda for the next 30 days. These members are allowed to change their vote. The members who are not present can watch today's proceedings on our YouTube channel, as well as read the paper record that occurs, and then become eligible at the next meeting to participate. After 30 days, if no one's changed their vote and no one else has participated, your case is deemed denied by operation of law because you have failed to get 4 affirmative votes. Let's see. Any applicant or aggrieved property owner may request a rehearing within 60 days of today's public hearing. Further, any applicant or aggrieved property owner may appeal this board's decision within 60 days to Chancery or Circuit Court after the date the order's entered, and after that time, 60 days has elapsed, the board's decision is final and no further action can be taken. If you're an applicant and you're here today and your case is granted, it is necessary for you to obtain the permit for which you've applied. It should be noted you've got 2 years from today to pick up your permit for this board's approval to remain valid. So if by chance you are approved today and you wait 2 years and a day and you don't get your permit, you have to come back here and seek reapproval. Mr. Chairman, I submit that all cases were filed in proper order. Applicants were notified by certified mail as required by the zoning code. A legal ad was published in the Tennessean, and the neighboring property owners within 300 feet were notified by first-class mail. I do have some preliminary announcements. Case we had scheduled today, and I apologize, I don't have the case number before me. The case that was scheduled for today's agenda dealing with Welch College will not be heard today. We do have some nice folks out here in the audience that I spoke to before the meeting. But hearings on Welch College will occur April the 6th, I believe. It's the first Thursday in April. New notices will go out to the neighboring property owners. New signs will be posted. My phone's dead, otherwise I'd check that calendar date. But it'll be the first Thursday, April. That case will be heard then. And then on today's agenda, page 1, the case that was deferred from our meeting of February the 20th is also deferred until March the 20th to allow the parties in that case to have more time to work out an agreement. This board had asked that case be deferred. They still need a little more time, guys, to discuss an easement. April 3rd, thank you, Mr. Chairman. So that's April 3rd. Is our case for Welch. They'll be heard then 1 o'clock, yes, sir. At same location, same everything. And then our case on page 1 is deferred until the 20th of this month to allow them more time to talk. That leaves 2 cases on our agenda. We do have a consent agenda, and prior to today's meeting, the board member reviews the cases on today's agenda, and if in their opinion the applicant meets the criteria for the application they've requested and they feel that testimony would not alter the material facts, they recommend the case to the remainder of the board for approval. I'll now call into the record the cases that have been recommended for the consent agenda. And if you're here in opposition to either of these cases on consent, raise your hand and we'll hear the cases in regular order. The first case recommended for the consent agenda is at the top of page 2. It is case 2014-18 at 3629 Brighton Road. Ms. Janet Sturchey, I hope I pronounced your name properly. Recommended for the consent agenda by Mr. Whitson due to the irregular shape of the property. They're requesting a variance in side setback in the that's what I get for trying to wing it. In the R20 district to construct a screened porch at the rear of the residence. Any parties here in opposition to case 18 on Brighton Road? Mr. Chairman, record reflects seeing none. The hardship in this case is the irregular shape of the property and narrowness of the lot at this location. The next case recommended for the consent agenda and today's final case is 2014-20 Flavio Lima, the appellant owner. I hope I pronounced your name properly, sir. My last name's Hargis, so it sometimes gets butchered a lot. So forgive me if I've mispronounced your names today. At 413 Roosevelt Avenue, requesting a variance in street setback and rear setback in RS5 to construct a new single-family residence on the property. Is anyone here in opposition to case 20? Okay, seeing none, the exceptional narrowness of the lot and irregular shape of this property necessitates the need for a variance in this case. And with that, Mr. Whitson recommends both cases 18 and 20 for the consent agenda.
Okay, so we have a motion. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Have a motion, have a second. All in favor of the consent agenda? Any opposed? Passes.
Okay, if you're here for cases
Maybe the
18 and 20, you have been approved. You can follow up with the Codes Department beginning on Monday morning to obtain your permits. And with that, the Board of Zoning Appeals is adjourned for today. Thank you.